What is up, dudes and lady dudes? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're looking at a couple more new cards out of Blazing Vortex. Now we got, I think, one or two of these revealed yesterday, but one revealed today. They're smaller cards. I didn't want to make a whole video on, a Skull Servant card, but there's a couple out now, so I can actually talk about them finally. So as we get into it, let's start off with White Baking. This is our new guy. He's a Skull Servant support card. He's actually amazing for Skull Servants. Like, obviously, you got to keep it in perspective. It's amazing for Skull Servants, not amazing in general. But let's see. All right. He's a level 1 Dark Zombie effect monster, so 1-for-1 target, where art thou, target, all that stuff. His attack is 300. His defense is 200. You can use the third effect of this card's name only once per turn. The first effect reads, this card name becomes Skull Servant while in the graveyard. That's great. Well, the strategy is literally put a bunch of Skull Servants in the grave and punch in with the King of the Skull Servants for a gajillion attack points. Great. If a level 3 or lower zombie you control would be destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can discard this card instead. That's also kind of nice. Just a little bit about destruction, protection, battle, or card effect. It's definitely nice. That's definitely welcome, for sure. And the third effect, the money-making effect. If this card is sent to the graveyard, so sent, you could Foolish Burial this card. You could discard it off its second effect to keep yourself from being destroyed. Then do this. A ton of things. You can normal summon it and link it off. You could do so many things just to get this engraved, and it will trigger. So when it's sent to grave, you can add 2 of these monsters with different names for your deck to your hand, then discard 1 card. You can add a Skull Servant or a monster that specifically lists the card Skull Servant in its text, except for White Baking. So I guess the idea is you add a Skull Servant and you add any other card that has Skull Servant in its text, and then you discard the Skull Servant because you want Skull Servant in graveyard anyway, because you just want to set up to be able to summon that king. So you could theoretically search a king and send the servant, which means like this guy's engraven, he counts as Skull Servant. So just off of that, you would have at least a 2,000 King of the Skull Servants. Not terrible. Also, you have all the other support cards, White Prince, White Princess. I don't remember the other ones, but it's a couple of those, and I don't know if there are spells and traps for Skull Servant as well, but also anything like else you can search off of that. So it's really, really good. It searches your entire archetype. It sets up Skull Servant in the grave. It gives you protection to destruction, which is something the deck was really, really bad at. Like yes, you can put a huge beater on the board, but the beater has like no protection via the archetype. So this definitely helps that out a little bit. And I just love how generic this float effect is. We've seen Konami kind of steer away from super generic float effects like these, just period, sent to grave, trigger. So like Foolish Burial trigger stuff, but we've seen a little bit of it coming back, and I'm here for it. So definitely a pretty good card for Skull Servants altogether. So if you love that classic strategy, definitely get pumped for that. And then we also have a new Digital Bug monster, Digital Bug Resist Strider. He's a light insect effect monster. Obviously, he's level 3 with 1,000. He cannot be used as Xyz material except for the Xyz summon of an insect monster. Okay, kind of lame, but that's the archetype. When you normal summon a level 3 insect monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then you can make the levels of this card and that monster both become 5 or 7. That's pretty good. That kind of sets you up for either a rank 5 or a rank 7 play. For sure, definitely kind of nice. And I think this effect is what really kind of makes this card made Konami want to give it the stipulation where you can only make the insect Xyz off of it. So it is what it is. All right. If this card is special summoned from the hand, you can change the battle position of one insect monster you control. I guess the Digital Bug archetype kind of likes to be in defense position, or I don't even know entirely what it wants to do. I wish it was just one monster on the field, so you even have the potential of switching an opponent's monster that maybe has lower defense than attack and could allow you to get over certain things, but I guess I'm not complaining all the way. I guess I'm not too upset about it, but okay, I don't really know exactly what that effect is for. And the last effect says here, an Xyz monster that was summoned using this card as material gains this effect, in which case the monster will gain 1,000 attack and defense. Now that's actually pretty legitimate. We've seen a couple effects like this, just, when it's material, give it a buff, whatever. This is a legitimate buff though. Sometimes you see like, give him a 500 buff, a 300 buff, like all that stuff. This is a legitimate 1,000 buff, which is actually no joke. So I definitely think this card is really nice for the Digital Bug strategy. It seems like a really good extender, jumps out of the hand really easily, gives you an additional extension, changes your battle position, and gives you this nice little boost. So definitely a really good card for Digital Bugs if you are a fan of them. So Resist Strider, pretty nice. And the last card I want to show off here is an Ice Barrier promo. Keep in mind this is a promo for the OCG, so we do not get promos anymore. But it is a card that will be implemented at some point in the future, and it's another Ice Barrier card. It's called, what is it? Attendant of the Ice Barrier. It has really cool art on it, and now we're just kind of in a position where we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait and see what this does, which is it's just kind of nice because usually structure decks are like 5, 6, 7 kind of new support cards, and Ice Barriers are really lacking. So I think they need as many support cards as they can get, and I like that they're now potentially getting them in other avenues as well, like just imported in other ways. So definitely pretty cool. We'll probably just see this import into either a side set or a core set into the OCG import section, but either way, just nice to see that we're getting more Ice Barrier support than just the cards from the structure deck, because Konami is definitely looking out. And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Don't forget, October 31st, I believe that's next Tuesday, we will be getting the video on the brand new archetype Mutants or Mutants. I don't know exactly how the pronunciation is just yet, but we'll probably see in that video. And so yeah, just get pumped for that. We just got like 2 new archetypes this week, and we're gonna get another one right there. We just have so many new archetypes coming to the game that it's actually really cool. I'm really hype about that. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more. Subscribe if you want to see more news videos from me in the future, and thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.